So we're going to get started with the first project, the solar system project, and kind of the fundamental concept here is that we're going to model and animate the solar system, and we're going to have the entire animation drive off the orbit of the Earth. So the concept here is that we can build a really complex animation and control it with just one set of keyframes. And so we'll do that using Espresso. This is kind of an extension or an extrapolation from the set-driven keys that we did back in the 3D motion class. So it's okay if you didn't wrap your head around the set-driven keys. This will be a slightly different process in assembling the Espresso-driven animation here. But it's going to be a little while before we actually get to the Espresso piece of it. We're going to get started by modeling the solar system, applying some textures, and just really kind of getting the sense of scale nailed first. And so one of the things when it comes to the solar system and this notion of scale, it becomes very important. We're going to start doing a little bit of research here, and I've posted some reference links here. And there's a couple of things that you should take a look at. There's a YouTube video that's kind of an interesting piece that puts size and scale into perspective, and there's a lot of these different kinds of videos, but this was one that just kind of that I found interesting. There's a Wikipedia link here to the solar system. There's a really great NASA resource that talks about the solar system. And then finally this 9planets.org website. The 9 Planets website is one of the first sort of recognized multimedia websites. It's been around since the mid-90s and was kind of an early flagship for the possibility of multimedia-based websites. And so when you look at it, you'll see that it looks pretty dated, but it's loaded with tons of information about the 9 planets. And in fact, from this website, I've pulled some numbers in terms of the diameter of the planets. Now, my goal here was not to get the technical specifications for each one of the planets so that we could model them exactly to scale, but just to kind of get a sense of what the relative scale of these things are. Now, when it comes to scale, if we modeled the solar system to scale, the only thing we would see is the sun. The planets would be so small and so scattered out that compositionally it wouldn't make any sense. The scale of things, we'd have a really hard time kind of perceiving these things. We're going to build an animation that's, first and foremost, designed for design or designed for presentation and animation, right? So we want to take into consideration, compositional decisions, and we want to make sure that the timing and the pacing of the animation works. Okay. Now we do want, the Earth to orbit faster than Saturn, and we do want Mars closer to the Sun than Earth, and so on. But we don't have to do these exactly to scale. And so, in order to get this project set up, I've already established in my class folder, I've established a solar system folder, and I've downloaded this text file. So I'll just download this once again to the desktop, and you'll need to download this text file. The text file is bundled textures. There's far more textures than you actually need, and I pulled these textures from lots of different resources that are freely available on the web. Some of these I pulled from NASA satellites. There's a really great website called